There are so many people out there just shelling out this shitty financial advice that it's hard to find just the right ones to tear down. Keep in mind here, I'm not tearing down the people. I'm tearing down the advice that they're giving and claiming that it's good advice. I'm digging into these misconstrued concepts that we somehow have just taken as truth. Some of them actually did work at one point in time. If you scroll back and check out my other videos, there's one about growing your net worth with CDs. There was a time where CDs were actually decent vehicles. But most of this advice is really just crap. Today, we are going to look at investing in real estate and how it's shitty financial advice. When you do it the wrong way, of course. I'm Scott Seary, and I founded the Know to Grow program on the idea that we don't need more financial advice. What we need is to make more money. And the only way to really get paid what you're worth is to tap into those skills that you already have. Then you can just turn them into money makers. So if you have watched any of my videos, you know that I'm all about investing in real estate. And turning a house into a cash flow machine is an amazing way to get you more or less passive income. This video is not railing against investing in real estate. It's against investing in your real estate, meaning your primary residence, your home. So there are financial gurus out there that love to rant and rave about how if you rent, you are just throwing money away and you have to live somewhere, so you might as well gain equity. And they always like to say things like houses always appreciate in value, rent always goes up, but you can never get rich if you rent. And so I took some time to do the math. And we're going to see just how rich you get owning a home versus renting. Now, there are some limitations to this. There's some exceptions. I own a home because I love the projects that come along with it. Real estate in Billings, at least, was affordable until maybe this past year. And there are a variety of other factors that come into play that you can't quantify. Renting, though, comes with its perks too. When your lease is up, you can just pick up and move wherever you want. There's no maintenance issues, and there's a handful of other quid pro quos. So we're looking at just the numbers here, folks. And really, for the sake of ease, we're not factoring in things like increases in taxes and insurance rates going up or landlords increasing your rent. We got to keep it simple. We're going to look at a $200,000 house over 30 years with a 4% mortgage, $2,400 a year in taxes, $1,500 a year in insurance, and then we'll look at a rental with $1,500 a month in rental expenses. Here we go. Your $200,000 home, growing at the historical average of about 5%, will be worth $864,000 in sum after 30 years. That's $664,000 in gains. It will, however, cost $1,279 per month, which comes out to $460,000 over the course of 30 years. We got to subtract that from our $864, and we have a gain of $404,000. That's not too shabby. Of course, we have to factor in repairs and remodels and upgrading appliances when they wear out or break. And some of that might be kind of hard to estimate because we don't have to remodel. Repairs largely depend on when things wear out. So let's just kind of guesstimate about replacing worn out appliances. Over the 30 years, you'll go through about 3 water heaters, probably 2 furnaces, and 2 or maybe 3 sets of kitchen appliances. Depends on how lucky you get in buying that weird brand that just kind of breaks faster than others. So when we kind of factor all that in, it's somewhere around $50,000 for all these upgraded appliances when they're worn out or broken. Now our gains drop down to about $354,000, and over the course of 30 years, you lay out 510 grand. So we'll divide that by 360. We come up with $1,416 per month over 30 years. If you rent, you pay $1,500 per month. No worries, just pay the rent. Over the course of 30 years, that comes to $540,000. Now, you don't have the equity of 350 grand or so built in the home, though. Okay, so lots of numbers here. Let's wrap it all up. Owning, you gain equity, but you're also on the hook for repairs, remodels, etc., and best case scenario, you're spending 510 grand over the course of 30 years, or about $1,416 per month. Renting, you aren't on the hook for repairs, but you also don't grow that equity. You spend $540,000 or $1,500 a month. All in all, straight up, just the numbers, the house is the better investment because you have the equity. But this shitty financial advice is not saying a house is not an investment, or the shitty financial advice is saying that your house is your best investment. If you want the absolute best investment, find a place that's actually cheaper and then throw all that extra money that you're saving on repairs, etc., into mutual funds. The stock market averages over 30 years about 10% per year. To see how much that can add up to, let's just say you tap into your skills and you turn them into money makers. You start pulling in an extra $500 per month, and you take all of that $500 and you invest 500 smackers, or about $6,000 a year, into mutual funds, into the stock market, and that grows into $1.1 million over the course of 30 years. You can do that if you own your house, if you rent your house, or if you live on the streets, because monetizing your skills is not tied to your home. All you do is you go over to www.knowtogrow.com. From there, after you sign up, I will guide you all along the way so that you can start making more money today. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll bring you more and more shitty financial advice over the next coming weeks.